My link with autism is I have a son called David. He's 12 years old. He's been diagnosed with autism since he was 4. So we've been living the experiences together for about 8 years. We saw other children playing and interacting, especially in playgroup that he went to, or pre-nursery group, and something wasn't quite right. We didn't know what. So we went to the doctor, and they began our story. They began our journey of living with autism and experiencing things as a family. David was eventually diagnosed. We found it very difficult initially to get him diagnosed. We went to the GP. It took a lot of effort and to go through the system of getting them instatemented, and for us or for somebody else outside the family to recognise, yes, there's an issue here, and how can they help? And a lot of hospitals and a few psychologists and different areas of the health service to finally get him diagnosed. Since he was diagnosed, we found things a little bit easier because we know what we're dealing with. We've gone through a lot of pain with him and a lot of happiness. The thing with autism I found is it expresses itself in very different ways, and older David's getting, the more exuberant those ways are. I was telling a friend in work yesterday that the experiences we've had with autism, and 40 years ago, 30 years ago, probably would have been put down as just a naughty child, and now I think with the help of Hope GP and other outlets that we are beginning to bring the message to the general public of what autism is, and what the ASD spectrum is, and hopefully with help, people will be able to understand David and other people better in the future, and arm them with some sort of tools of recognising and helping David. Our experiences, or David's experiences with autism, he finds it difficult in groups. He finds very cognitive skills very difficult to cope with. Lots of moving, lots of lights, lots of noise, lots of smells, touches. All those experiences he finds difficult, and is tapping through to David for him to be able to recognise what's going on and to be able to calm himself down. Another thing we found with autism is he doesn't like change at all. He is very methodical. He is very much in his routine, and any little change in our routine or upsetting our routine can be upsetting for him, and can be very upsetting for other people around him if they don't know David and if they don't know autism. So things can be very interesting at times. He can be naughty like any other child, and he learns through his faults and his mistakes like anybody else. And the difficulty with that is for us as parents and for teachers or any responsible adult, if he's in a group, to know what's wrong, and then to recognise what's naughty and what's David and what's autism, and to get around that. It takes a lot of planning in the mornings. It takes a lot of planning in school, especially. I'll always remember the first year of school. I'll always remember the first year of comp, especially moving from the transitional stage from primary school to comprehensive school, from going from one teacher and one classroom and a classroom assistant and 20, 30 other children that he knows and plays with, to 120 odd children in his year, about 8 different teachers. He sees about 6 a day, different classrooms, different noises, different heating systems and all this. It's very interesting and to overcome. And I think a lot of dealing with autism, it is a lifelong condition. It's not something you can take a tablet for. It's not something you can control by using any other method apart from trying to get over it himself.